Have you ever thought about owning a collector car? Maybe something you can drive and enjoy? Because when we were kids, we'd see a car go by and we'd get so excited. And many of us are just driving cars, SUVs, and trucks. But there are some amazing cars out there at prices that anybody can afford. We're going to show you that. Stay right with us. Welcome back to the channel. I'm Lauren Fix. If this is your first time to the channel, we do more than just cool car reviews. We're here at the auctions at Mecum, but we also cover first looks of new vehicles, and we give you car smarts because we believe knowledge is power. Make sure to click that little bell and the subscribe button so you don't miss anything. Mecum Auctions is one of the largest auction houses. They have 14 auctions nationwide that sell about $30 million or more at every single auction. They started a very small business in 1988, a family business for auctions, and they do farm tractors and motorcycles and a lot of other things. But this car auction business has been booming for them, and they brought on Dave Major, the new CEO, a few years ago. He has really elevated this brand to a whole new level. We had an opportunity to talk to him, and you want to listen to this. Hi Dave, it's nice to be here, and I appreciate you inviting us out to Kissimmee. This is a huge event.
Thanks for being here. It's a great event.
So tell us why Kissimmee is such an important event.
Well, this event has grown into the world's largest collector car auction. So if you can imagine when you see what's been set up here at Kissimmee today with around 3,000 cars, this event started over 15 years ago, and the very first event in Kissimmee had 50 cars.
Right.
It was in the parking lot of a laundromat next to a chicken coop.
Oh my goodness.
So it's grown from that kind of an event 15 years ago to the world's largest collector car auction that we have today. And it just keeps growing. It just keeps getting bigger.
How many cars do you have?
There are about 3,000 cars here this year.
That's a lot. How long does it take to run 3,000 cars?
Well, we start an auction at 10 o'clock in the morning. We run a car across the block every 2 minutes until we finish. We'll run somewhere around 300 to maybe 330 cars a day. So we start at 10, finish somewhere around 6:30 at night.
Wow.
And we're going to do that for 10 days in a row.
That's crazy. This is the longest one I've ever heard of. Most auctions are like 3 days.
It is a marathon. I often say it's like Groundhog Day. Every morning we get up and it seems like the same thing, just different cars.
What's the most you've run through a Kissimmee auction? Most cars?
Last year we had close to 3,400, I think.
Wow.
So we're down a little bit this year, which is somewhat expected during the pandemic. But my consignment guys, our marketing people have all said this is the best lineup that we've ever had at Kissimmee in terms of quality top to bottom.
Wow. So what's the percentage of sell-through? I mean, people don't understand not every car gets sold, right?
Well, we're on kind of a roll right now. So we are a reserve auction, which means the seller can set a minimum that he's willing to accept his car for. And if it doesn't reach that minimum, the bid, then he doesn't sell his car.
Right.
Normally in a reserve auction, somewhere around 65 to maybe 72% is a very good sell-through percentage.
That is a huge sell-through.
We've done 10 auctions now since the 1st of June. This is our 11th, and we're running about 84% sell-through.
Wow.
Yesterday, our first day here in Kissimmee, we were 83% sell-through. So I would be very disappointed if it wasn't in excess of 80% when we finish up.
That's huge. So Mecum's been around for a while, but there were some other auction companies out there. What makes
There are.
So what makes Mecum that much more successful?
Well, I think there's a couple of things. Number one is just the culture of the company. We're a family-owned company. Dana Mecum started the company in 1988. He's still working with us every day in the business, and his 4 sons, who are all in their 30s, work with us every day in the business. So we're not just family-owned, we are a family company. So we promote a family environment for those that attend our auctions, and we don't cater to one set of clientele or another. So as you walk through the fairgrounds here in Osceola Heritage Park, you'll see cars that might sell for $5,000. You're going to see cars that'll sell for multi-millions of dollars.
We expect to see that.
and I expect to see that. So it doesn't matter to us what make, what model, what color, what size your pocketbook is. You're all the same to us. You're all car enthusiasts, and we treat everybody equally. And then secondly, we're very unique in that we don't have you come to us for an auction. We don't say our auction is here, y'all come. We actually travel the country. So we'll do 14 car auctions around the country every year. So we come to where you're at. So if you wait long enough, we're going to be close to you, and you can, of course, bring your car or come to buy.
How many staff do you have? It's huge.
We have 160 staff in our corporate office in Walworth, Wisconsin, just north, a little bit north and west of Chicago. And then we have another 250 people that what we call roadshow employees. They do nothing but travel with the auction.
Wow.
So I'm often hear from folks that will say, boy, that really runs like clockwork. You guys have it all figured out. It's because it's the same people at every auction that set up these buildings, that set up the tents, that operate the auction block.
So a big question, and stock market's on a boom. Is now a good time to buy an investor car? I mean, to buy a collector car, something maybe you've always wanted, or something that might have value down the road?
Well, we certainly like people to buy cars that they're passionate about, and cars that that's a treasure to you. But there are certain cars that are bought for investment value. And if you look at the returns on collector automobiles, and you can look at it by make, you can look at it by model, but in general, the collector car market over the last 10 years has returned close to 40% a year.
Wow, that's better than the stock market.
And we're on quite a bull market in the collector car business. Prices continue to go up. I would say in 2020 that we just finished. Prices were stronger than we've seen them in the last 15 years, and they continue to climb. And of course, when prices are good, that brings out high quality cars, and when you bring out high quality cars, you bring out more bidders, and prices continue to rise. So right now, I think this collector car market is as strong as it's been probably in the last 15 or 20 years.
So as far as collector cars, I was talking to your marketing person, they were giving me some really impressive numbers. How many people are collector car people?
Well, I don't know how many people there are, but there are in excess of 25 million collector cars that are insured in the United States today.
That's a lot of vehicles, and to think about how many, you might have a vehicle in your garage, maybe it's time to sell it.
Yeah, and oftentimes people will say, well, you have so many cars here, you have 3,000 cars here, you're going to sell 15,000 cars this year. What happens when there aren't any cars left? And I remind them, we're doing 15,000 a year, there's 25 million, and by the way, you don't always just get to sell a car once.
Right, a lot of cars come back to you,
They do come back through.
So are the buyers typically investors, or are they enthusiasts?
For the most part, I would say that they're enthusiasts. Most of the cars that we will sell, the average price of a car sold is somewhere in the high 30,000 range. Those are enthusiasts.
Right.
The people that are buying cars in the multi-million-dollar range, cars that probably never will be driven, that are going to be in a garage somewhere or in a museum somewhere.
We've seen some crazy ones cross the block.
Those are more investment quality cars. Some of the cars that we're standing around right now are investment quality cars.
So what's the highest vehicle you've ever sold? What's the most expensive vehicle that's crossed the block at Mecum and sold?
About I think it was 7.75 million.
Wow, what was that?
It was a Ford GT40.
That would make sense.
We sold in Houston,
history.
I think it was in 2014, and then we've had some cars that have been very close to that since.
So I buy a vehicle here. I love it. I sign up as a bidder. I clear all my credit, and I buy a vehicle. How do I pay for that, and how do I get it home?
Well, we pride ourselves in having built a Mecum system that allows you to do everything you need to do start to finish right here at the auction itself. So you can register to bid. Actually, you can raise your hand. You're a winning bidder. We can finance that car for you. We can do all the paperwork for you. We can register it. We can get new tags for it for you. And then we can put it on one of our trucks and we can deliver it to your house. And our tagline for our Mecum transport business is from the auction floor to your garage door.
Oh, I like that.
So we purposely started a process about 5 years ago to build a system that, including insurance with our partnership with State Farm, we can do everything you need to have done as a collector car enthusiast.
Wow. So even if I'm buying like a $10,000 car, which sometimes cross the blocks, all the way up to those multi-million, you can support every aspect of that.
Yes.
That's really impressive and very smart.
And we can do that on the other side of the transaction too, for a consignor.
Okay.
If you want to call and consign one of your cars to our auction, we can take one of our trucks to your house, pick it up, bring it to the auction, we'll clean it up for you, we'll get it checked in, we'll do all the paperwork, we'll put it on the floor like you see here in this room, and you actually don't even have to come to the auction.
So does it have to be a perfect car like the ones around us that are absolutely perfectly clean, or is it something that maybe has been sitting in someone's garage for a while?
There are cars here that might be 10, 15, 20 years old that have 50 miles on them. Wow. And there are cars here that were found in a barn that have sat in a barn for the last 50 years and have never been moved, that to the average eye might look like a rust bucket, but to somebody that's in the restoration business, looks like a real prize.
That's smart, because I think a lot of auctions don't do that. If it's not perfect, they don't want it, and that's what makes it easy for anyone to get involved. Whether you find the car you want, you can find a restorer. Do you have a relationship with restorers as well?
Yes, we do.
Of course you do.
And some of the cars that are barn finds that have never been restored, that look like they basically just hooked a chain to it and drug it out of the barn. Some of those bring some of the best prices just because of the condition that it's in.
Yeah, it's only original once.
Yeah.
So if you're finding an increase in people doing this over the phone because of COVID and everything going on, or are people still coming here and wearing masks? We're not wearing masks just for this interview, but
we are wearing masks.
We are wearing masks, yes.
We when the country went into lockdown in the 1st of April, we spent April and May taking a look at our business and thinking about what's the business going to look like when we come out of the pandemic, or more importantly, what's the business going to look like during the pandemic. So when we started back to auction the 1st of June, we had completely rebuilt a lot of our processes, and one of those was the online auction system, where before you would look at a static picture on a screen and you could hear the auctioneer and you could participate by pushing the button. Now the way that works is you're looking at a live video. You're looking at it just as if you were sitting in the front row of the auction and sitting right in front of the auctioneer. And the auctioneer actually knows who the internet bidders are. So he can say, Dave, are you done bidding on that car? So it's not a two-way communication, but it is a one-way communication.
Is it visual? So they can see you? Or?
They're seeing the auctioneer sitting at home. They're seeing a picture of the car. They're seeing a description of the car. They're seeing the bids as it progress. The auctioneer can't see both ways. It's just
really
one
good.
way.
That's really good for someone who wants to invest.
Exactly.
But they don't have the time or the ability to get, because you could anywhere in the world, right?
Exactly. And what we're finding is that where we normally would have 20 or 30 internet bidders on a given day, now we're seeing 1,500 to 2,000 registered internet bidders.
Wow.
And more importantly than that, what we're finding out is that those internet bidders that we picked up since the 1st of June, 80% of them are brand new to us.
Really?
They're people that have never done business with us before. So we've looked at it now not only as an opportunity to assist in the sale of a car in the auction, but as a marketing tool now that we know that's an avenue that we can bring new clients to Mecum as well.
Very smart. So anywhere on the planet.
Right.
Wherever you are, you're unable to travel for whatever reason.
You can be sitting on your couch at home and it looks to you just like you're sitting in front of the auction block.
That's fabulous. So what's the future? I mean, you've done literally everything. You've got the restorers, you've got the finance, you have the transport, and you're growing. What does the future of Mecum look like?
Well, the auction business, whether it's the motorcycles that we do or the farm tractors or vehicles, continues to grow and almost astronomically. We've had a great run over the last 5 or 6 years. The piece of the business that I look at today that still has a lot of potential and almost unlimited potential is the entertainment value of our business. So as we continue to focus on Mecum for the future, my staff and I are looking at how do we increase the value of Mecum as an entertainment company as opposed to just a car auction company. We're not going to lose our focus on the car auction business.
That's where the bread and butter is.
That's going to continue, but there is another resource that we can use what we do, and we can use these cars to entertain people, and we're looking at a variety of ways to do that.
So your business acumen, with Dana's passion and his family's passion, has created a huge family business.
Yeah, I'm kind of the outcast. The Mecum family are car people. I'm a car guy myself, but not to the extent that they are. What I bring to it is the business experience.
And that's important, because obviously the results have been Mecum was growing and you just escalated it.
Yeah.
You turbocharged it or supercharged it.
We have a great team and we've done very well over the last 5-6 years.
I know you have to get back to the auction. We appreciate you taking some time away. This is very exciting. We'll be watching it for the whole 2 weeks. We'll be posting on social media.
Great.
On my site, Car Coach Reports, and we appreciate your time.
Thanks for being here.
All right, thank you. We'd like to thank Mecum Auctions for giving us access to the whole show field. This is an impressive event. Over 3,000 cars is a lot to walk, but if you get a chance to go to one of the auctions, there's probably one near you, it's worth the trip. You can also watch the Mecum Auctions online at NBC Sports or go to their website, Mecum Auctions. You will find a ton of information on cars that have sold, cars that are coming up, like this car. And if you have additional questions about auctions or coming to a Mecum auction, put it in the comments down below. We'll get an answer for you, because remember, they're doing the financing, the transport. They're even helping you restore the car because they've got connections and relationships to make it easier so you too can have a wonderful car that you love driving that has emotion to it rather than just utility. A lot of the vehicles that you're seeing here today have been covered on our website, Car Coach Reports, in English and in Spanish. We have some new contributors, so make sure to check that out. I'm having a great time doing a podcast called Total Car Score with Carl Brower and Javier Mota. Please check that out. Subscribe on all platforms. If you enjoyed this video and you got value from it, make sure to like it and comment. Share it with your friends. Like I said, this is a community. We want to get you involved in this because you will find this is a great way to make money, just like Dave was saying. Follow me on all forms of social media to see some of these cool cars. We'll be posting them up. You can check down through the feed. It's at Lauren Fix on all platforms. And we appreciate your time watching. We'll look forward to seeing you next time.